So hey, hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Salesforce Wala. So today we are going to learn about the workbench, basics about the workbench. So basically this is my org. So I have created I have opened my org here. So now I will tell you how to open the workbench. So basically first we will see what is workbench. Basically workbench is type of a tool which helps you to update, delete or create data into your Salesforce org. Okay, so what other things we can do on the sale what other things we can do on the workbench? Okay, so therefore that let's do one thing. Let's go to the workbench URL and then we can see. Okay, how to open the workbench? So for that you just have to open your org, and after that you just have to open a new tab and just hit the workbench. Okay, now it's depend upon the environment. If you are using the sandboxes, you just have to select the sandboxes, otherwise you will have to click the production environment. Okay, I will agree the terms and services of this, and boom, log in with Salesforce. So what it will do, it will automatically take your login and it will automatically log in through your account. Because you have already opened this account, it will automatically take the session ID of it and log in into the workbench. Okay, so here you can see uh, my account will be visible here. Okay, so now we can see what we can do one thing. What are the things we can do on the Salesforce? Okay, so first of all, info. So if you want to get information about the standard and the custom objects, session information, meta types and the components, you can see it from the info. Second thing is query. So what are the different queries that we are going to perform on the Salesforce? Okay, third tab is data. So what data we have to do? Insert, update, delete and delete, purge. All type of data we can, all type of information or all sort of insert, delete, whatever operations we have to do, we can do it through the workbench. Now migration is basically when we use the migration is basically used when we have to retrieve the code and we have to deploy the code into the another, or then we can do it. So basically and if you are in the IT world, you are already aware about this. Like we will retrieve the code from it and we are deploying the code into the new environment, that is the upper environment. Okay, for example, you can take as a QA environment. QA means quality assurance environment, type of environments. So now the fifth thing is utilities. So utilities, on the utilities, what you can do, you can perform REST Explorer, Apex Execute, password management, bulk API to run the job. Means all these things we can do it on the utility. So first of all, we are learn basics about the workbench. Okay, so these are the main functions of the workbench. Now we will go into the basics about the workbench. So now when I go to the info, I can see the standard and the custom objects. When I click on it, here it will show me all the standards as well as the custom objects that we are using onto the Salesforce. So here you can see I can see the Apex classes as well. So how many Apex classes are there? All the things will be available here. What are the custom objects we are using? Here are the attributes. It will show the relationships also. Here you can see it will show the child relationship also. It will show all the things about the custom and the standard object that we are using that onto the Salesforce. Okay, now you can see second thing, it's meta types and metadata types and components. So let me do one thing. Let me go into the metadata types. So the metadata types, you can see all the metadata types and its component. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me just click on the metadata type, that is aura definition bundle. So it will give me all the components which we have created onto the aura. It will give you the already created components also, and it will give you the component that we have created. Okay, so here you can see there are a lot of components that was created by me, and you can see it here. Okay, my contact app. You can see here all the things were created, date, full name, and all the things. Okay. Now, third thing is like these are the basics about the metadata and components. What are the components we are using? Session information. On the session informations, we learn about the means connections, what are the connections and where we are using the connections, that thing, organization, metadata, and user. Who is the user, who is using this basically information that we are going to learn, that we are going to see on the session information. Organization level also things we are going to see on the session informations. Connections, so our Salesforce is connected to which type of org, and or the Salesforce is connected to, or who is using the Salesforce, that type of connections also we can see it here. So right now you can see my client is Workbench, so I am using the Workbench. That is why I can see the work on the under connection. I can see the Workbench here. Okay. Now now the queries. So on the queries, I can see the SOQL query. So let me tell you basic about the SOQL query. So why we are using the SOQL query? We just have to retrieve the data from the objects. Okay. So now let me show you how the workbench is beneficial for us. Why and how. So you can see here, I can see the objects. Suppose I will take the e-history object here. Okay, this is my custom object. And what I will do, I will just do one thing. I will just add, like add here, and I will just hit the query. And now here you can see it will show me all the data here, which are in this particular a-history object. Okay, now what we have to do is like if we want to filter out the query, we can do it also from here, filter result by. Okay, if you want to sort the option, you can also sort it. How you can sort it? You have to just go to the sort result by, and then just click on the last modified date. On the last modified date, A to Z nulls first. Okay, and maximum record, how the maximum record we have to show, we can just query it, and boom, we will see all the things. Okay, now filter result by. What is basically filter result by? Filter result by, it will filter out the record on the basis of your filter condition. Okay, so now here you can see it will automatically create all the queries, and it will automatically show you maximum records. Suppose I have to show 2 records only, so I will just write 2 here and just hit the query. It will only show me the 2 records. That's it. So now here you can see we have views, we have different options also available here. So basically, we use only 2 options like list view and the bulk CSV. Bulk XML also we are using, but for bulk XML we have to connect our org. If we want the data into the XML format, that we can also do it. Okay, but basically we will use the bulk CSV. So let's take an example why we are using the bulk CSV most. Because if we want to retrieve the data, and if you want to if you want to suppose if you want to create some record onto the different order other than this. Okay, at that time this will be very beneficial. So we can just go to the workbench, and we can just go to the data, and we can hit the insert button, and now just we can just choose the file that we have just pulled out from the other org. You That CSV file. Okay, we can just choose it, and we can hit the next button, then it will just insert all the data into it. Okay, so that way we can use the SOQL query. Okay, now what is SOSL? SOSL, you are already aware about that. It is in search query that will use to search a particular value from a record. Okay, so there you can use it also here. Okay, now asynchronous SOQL. So you can do one thing, means if you have a lot of record, then at that time you can do one thing, you can asynchronously call the data from it. Right now, means in my org, I do not have like more than 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 data on it. So I will not perform this query right now. Okay. So streaming push topic. So streaming push topic, we will see this later. I will tell you about this later. This is an interesting topic. I will tell you about this later. Okay, now we will see the data. So data means what data we have to insert into the org, what data we have to update, delete, upsert, or means delete the data from the org. Okay. So this query we can easily perform. You can just go to the insert and you can just select the object where you have to insert the data, and you can select the bulk CSV file from it. So right now you can see I do not have any bulk CSV. Yeah, I do not have any bulk CSV, so I cannot I cannot do this right now. So what you have to do, you just have to select the file and just hit the next button. As you hit the next button, you just have to map the values and just confirm insert. That's it. Your data will be inserted easily here. Okay. Now we will see update also. We have to do the same thing. Upsert, delete, all these things we have to do the same thing. For undelete also, we have to delete the same things. We just have to upload the file and hit the next button. After that, we just confirm the undelete. For purge also we have to do the same thing. We do not have to do any other thing. We just need a file, bulk CSV file. Why the bulk CSV file is needed? Because Salesforce only accept the bulk CSV format only. It will not accept XLX format. Okay, that is why we need the bulk CSV file. Okay, so now the fourth thing is deploy and retrieve. Suppose you want to deploy your package. So what is basically package means a collection of code that we are going to update onto the different orgs. Suppose you can take, I have different orgs there. Okay, so on to the different orgs, I have to retrieve the data from here. How will you retrieve that? You just have to create one XML file. So let me try to show you the XML file. Right now I do not have the file, but let me try to show you the XML file. Okay, we do not have the XML file, I think. Yeah, I think we have the file. So here you can see, I can see the one XML file here. Okay, so this XML file you have to create. You have to go to retrieve if you want the package. So you just have to go to retrieve. After that, you just have to go to choose, and where I have put that file, I just have to check it. So here you can see, I can see the package.xml file. I will just open it. I will just hit the next button, and after that, here you can see, I can see the Apex classes, Lightning Web Component, all these things right here. If I will click on the retrieve, it will just retrieve the latest package. Whatever the development I have done onto the Apex class and Lightning component will be visible here with the latest code on it. Okay, so this is my file. Okay, now you have to deploy the package. So what you have to do, you just have to click on deploy, and you just have to go to downloads, and downloads you will just have to click the retrieve package. So once you open the retrieve package, you just have to click the check only. So what are these options? These options are basically the validations options. Okay, so why we are using that? So it is because if we do not put check on the option here, then it will directly update our code into the org, and we do not want that. Okay, that is why we have to put this validations, and it will also help you to run the test classes that will you can also the run means test classes run as well as the coverage of the test classes from here. Okay, so For the time being, I am uploading the like only the data, so I will just my test level will be no test run. So I will just hit the next button. After I hit the next button, I can just deploy it. I will not deploy it because I have just retrieved the package from the same environment. If I will retrieve the same, if I will deploy the same package, it will not do anything. But yeah, I will it will like take time to do that also. Okay, so let's see. Now migration is also done. Now we can go to the REST Explorer. Basically, what REST Explorer is? REST Explorer is means you have to, if you have to do any REST call out, then you can do it from here. So let's take an example here. If I want to create a new account from here, so what I will do, I will just what I will do, I will do one thing. I will just execute it first. Let me see. Sorry. I will just go to the REST Explorer again, and I will just put the get, and I will just hit the execute button. Okay, after that it will show me a list of things. Okay, so we just have to, what we have to do, we just have to like create account record. So for that I have to check for objects as objects. Okay, so where are as objects? I cannot yeah, I can see here as objects. Okay, on the as objects, what I will do, I will just execute it. On the as objects, I can see a list of as objects, but I want only account as object. Okay, so what I will do, I will just click on slash and then account. That's it. Then I will execute it. It will give me the recent items, object describe all the things about that. Okay. Now I will do one thing. If I want to create an account, what I will do, I have to just give the JSON record here. So for that, what I have to do, I have to do, I have to just write the name here, name. So I will just write like this, Salesforce, voila. Okay, so I will just hit the execute. It will just create the record. Yeah, you can see it will just create the record here. Okay, and now we can see uh, okay, so like this is the basics about the Salesforce, so sorry, the Workbench. Now in the next video, I we will going to deep down into the into the Workbench. Thank you guys, thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel to get the latest video about the Salesforce.